All right, what is up, guys, and welcome to the first video of the 2019 Scumbag Fantasy Football season. I wasn't planning on doing a video today. I was kind of thinking about doing like a preseason, like post-draft video, but it kind of never materialized. And then Thursday night came around, the Bears got smashed. We already got points on the board, so I was thinking, you know what, just gonna wait until after week one and do a recap video. But where's the fun in that? I figured, just woke up. It's like 9:20 a.m. Still got like 3 hours, till football starts. Just gonna go through the matchups. Let's talk about it. We got rivalry week, so yeah, I don't really have like a structure in mind for this first one, but I was thinking this year I'm gonna have like weekly categories, and we're just gonna go through those like best start of the week, biggest choke of the week, biggest upset of the week, stuff like that. Just gonna come through and make like a list of categories. That way, like each video won't be like me just sitting down and making up shit on the fly. We'll kind of have like a little bit of structure to it. Maybe go through the power rankings or go through the categories and then talk about the previews for next week and then just wrap it up like that. Get a little bit of structure and then it'll start to flow a lot more smoothly, I think. Also, apologies, I look a little tired. Literally just woke up to do this video. So, all right. So we got rivalry week this week, and starting off, we got myself and George. So unlikely rivals. For some of you who don't know, George and I, we lived together senior year in college, and that's pretty much what started this league's like shit talking. It was originally me, Joey, Luca, and George just sitting on the couch talking shit, making trades until like midnight plus every single night. Luca, no, unfortunately, no longer with us. We got JB coming in instead. Yes, shout outs to JB. Kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but anyway, me versus George. Let's see what we got. So I already got 20 points on the board from Allen Robinson's amazing performance and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So those are two best players in Thursday night's game in terms of wide receiver position. MVS outperforming Devontae Adams. Allen Robinson looking like a stud, looking like the only person Mitchell Trubisky can target. So right now I'm projected to win 132 to 128. So still anybody's game, favorite 53%. But let's go through George's roster here. Defending championship George. So QBs, we got Andy Dalton and Marcus Mariota. So already off the bat, George's team looking like complete doo-doo. I already remember how this guy's draft went. He spent no money in the beginning, and then all of a sudden started bidding up questionable, I'd say, players for over $100. I think his first buy was Juju for $100, followed by Gurley, who went for like 107, which was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. And yeah, wow, $107 for Gurley. I mean, I think Gurley's going to be good this year. If he's as advertised, going to get the full share of snaps like how they're saying, then he should be worth it. But I just saw him go for a lot lower in other leagues. But I guess, when you wait too long and that's the last good running back on the board, you got to bid up for him. And he's got Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's decent. And then Mike Evans, I'd say, are the four players to actually round out George's squad. Everybody else kind of looking like really subpar, in my opinion. Delaney Walker, Moncrief, Emmanuel Sanders. It's just not looking good. And then on the other side of the aisle, Mr. Dictator himself. What can I say, man? I love my team. I went really high risk, high reward. My week one starting roster, does not look that menacing. But then when you start to look a little bit deeper, you see how the championship's going to come together on this one, boys. Got Cam Newton and Tom Brady's quarterbacks. It's going to be a wash. It's going to be, the league's just going to be fucked. Maybe not from week one, maybe not from week two, but I got a feeling from like week four on, Tom Brady and Antonio Brown, that connection just going to be there. Sony Michel is going to benefit from the offense opening up big time. Alvin Kamara, total stud. Cam Newton going to have like a resurgence of his MVP season on the shoulders of Curtis Samuel, his number one receiver, Curtis Samuel is just going to be a beast this year. It's just going to happen, guys. Austin Hooper, super underrated tight end, Falcons system. What can you complain about? Seattle defense just got Jadeveon Clowney playing against the Bengals week 1, so we're going to have Jadeveon Clowney sacking the shit out of Andy Dalton, fucking Georgia's day up even harder. It's going to be great. Only questionable starter I got in my lineup is Justin Jackson, but he's just temporary while we wait for Mr. Big Chest himself to get back on the field for the Patriots. I don't even want to go into the bench. Just to know that I got Melvin Gordon, AJ Green, Golden Tate waiting in the wings, boys. It's going to be a good year. All right, moving on to the second matchup. We got Zach versus Evan. Zach finally changing his name off of Alex Merzasacco. What can I say? It's been 2 years removed now, boys. Just going to go ahead and block that out of all of our memories. Never happened. Really enjoying the new team name, going back to the basics, going right back to Eddie. Always a classic team name there. So what do we got going on here? Zach starting Jared Goff, Michael Thomas, Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson, Damian Williams, O.J. Howard, Calvin Ridley, Kenyon Drake. Sounds like a lot of guys that fantasy experts have been talking up, in my opinion. Not a lot of big name, like stud power names, aside from Michael Thomas here on Zach's team. But I do like Tyler Lockett a lot. I think he's going to be good with the return yards. Damian Williams kind of sucks. Got LaShawn McCoy over there now. So I don't know. I think Zach's got a decent squad for once. You know, we'll see how long it takes for him to dismantle his team by questionable trades, as usual. On the other side, we got Mr. Big tight end guy, Evan, with his 2 stud tight ends, George Kittle and Travis Kelce, who we got for pretty big steals, not going to lie. So we'll see how this strategy works out for Evan. Also had Tariq Cohen go on Thursday night, put a decent 10 points. Still doing the punt returns, which I like. It looks like they're focusing on him in the passing game, which is, I think, good, because I feel like we should be running David Montgomery, but, you know, got Mike Davis now, who Matt Nagy just feels the need to just run and throw a lot of screen passes too. But anyway, we got, aside from Evan's big tight ends, got Phillip Rivers, Jameis Winston, decent quarterbacks. Stephon Diggs, Robert Woods, Marlon Mack, DJ Moore. I mean, they're all like wide receiver 2, running back 2, like plus kind of guys. Maybe one of them breaks out and gets to that wide receiver 1 range. Probably Diggs if he's healthy. But yeah, I like to see what I see from Evan's team. I guess see how those tight ends play out. If he's going to hold on to them all year, if he's going to end up trading one. Zach has Josh Gordon on the bench. I don't know how I feel about that. If I had Josh Gordon, I'd definitely be starting him. But we will see. We will see. I feel like with Antonio Brown inactive for this week, got to get what you can out of Josh Gordon. But that is just my opinion. And moving on down, we got Kevin versus Vishal. Fucking Vishal, man. I don't know what to say. You really pissed me off by just missing the draft, ghosting everybody, coming back and just spewing bullshit about how, you know, we colluded to like draft your team or some shit. Bro, this is the fucking best team I've ever seen with your name attached to it on a roster. I don't know how you're going to run this one into the ground, but I just know it's going to happen because it's fucking Vishal, let's be honest. But Zaya hooked you up with anything that you could have asked for and more. You've got depth, you've got starters. This is like the opposite of like every team that I've seen Vishal have in this league and fantasy football career in general. But let's get into it. On Kevin's side, we got quarterbacks Drew Brees and Kirk Cousins. Kind of questionable on Kirk Cousins this year. I think the Vikings want to run the ball a lot, so we'll see. They kind of want to dial back Kirk Cousins because they know he's ass after what he did last year. But who knows? Dalvin Cook being back, maybe that offense opens up a little bit more in the passing game. We'll see. We'll see. Drew Brees I like, but getting up there in age. You got DeAndre Hopkins and Odell Beckham on Kevin's side. Those are off the board his number 1, number 2 best players for sure. Should be studs for all year to come. David Montgomery, a little bit unfortunate how Matt Nagy chose to use him that week 1. I felt like every time he got the ball, he did something good with it. Just a little bit of a missed opportunity there. But I think he's going to get better as the season goes on. Phillip Lindsay, who knows? Maybe he'll be healthy and do what he did again last year. Seems like they want to use Royce Freeman a bit more, so that'll be one to watch. Evan Ingram seems like he's going to be featured. Peyton Barber's probably going to be ass. So a little bit of a mixed bag from Kevin's team. See some potential here. See some established studs. So usually what we see out of Kevin, usually a few established studs that he rides as far as they take him. Now on the other side of Vishal, man, you got hooked up, dude. I don't know what else to say. Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, Miles Sanders. I think those are going to be some great players. Obviously, Tyreek Hill, they just extended him. Seems like the Chiefs are confident in him. T.Y. Hilton at a big value was nice, even with Andrew Luck going down. I think T.Y. Hilton's still going to put up some value with Jacoby Brissett. Austin Eckler, my guy, you stole him. That was the one guy that I was coming into the draft targeting after I got Melvin Gordon especially, and then Zaya just kept bidding me up, man. So I don't know how you can say that there was any collusion when my guy was the one that got stolen off the board, but hey, what can you say? And then looking at the bench, you got Kenny Golladay, Tyler Boyd. Those are top starting receivers on any other team besides this. Just goes to show how either deep this team is or how bad Vishal is at starting his lineup, whichever one of the two that you want to pick. But yeah. Kyler Murray, Carson Wentz, get some big high upside quarterbacks there. Kyler Murray's a little bit of a question mark. We'll see. Maybe he either lights it up this week versus Detroit or he kind of just falls on his face, but it's to be determined. All right, well, we're already at 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and I'm going pretty slow. I guess this is preseason form from me here too, but moving on. We got JB versus Joey. JB coming out strong with Christian McCaffrey, Zeke, Aaron Rodgers, star-studding his team out from the beginning, which is nice. He was high on his boy Amari Cooper, which, you know, you got to shoot your shot, man. I've never been a fan of Amari Cooper, but he did have 2 good games with Dallas last year, and I guess that's what everybody wants to remember, so good luck to you there. Geronimo Allison putting a fat 0 in the lineup. That's always what you want to see week 1, you know, just fat zeros. So it looks like Joey is the big favorite here in this one, just from projections alone. Nobody's played on Joey's team yet, but of course, Saquon, Julio Jones, 2 of Joey's favorite players, Leonard Fournette, just another one of his guys. Matt Ryan, the quarterback that he would not leave the draft without, just kept bidding him up. Got Will Fuller for high upside, Jordan Howard. We'll see what he does with Washington. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets more carries than Miles Sanders, just because that's how the Eagles like to use the running backs. Dede Westbrook, high upside, so we got some decent guys on Joey's team there too. Looking at the bench, nothing really sticks out for either of these 2 guys, so we're just going to move on to the next matchup. Just trying to speed things up. Sorry, guys. The people on the back half of the preview get a little bit shorted, but gotta speed things up. All right, next matchup we got Zaya versus Mark, Hotel Rwanda and Notorious Thugs. Zaya starting Mitchell Trubisky, getting less than half of his projections there, 8.2 points. Pitiful performance from the Bears all around. Other quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson. I can see Lamar Jackson being pretty good this year, especially week 1 versus Miami. And Zaya's stud running backs, Dalvin Cook and Nick Chubb. Both of these guys are high risk, high reward. You know, they've done it. They've showed it in flashes, but they've never sustained it over a full season. So we'll see if they can do it this year. Zaya's number 1 running wide receiver is Chris Godwin. And as much as I love Chris Godwin, not a number 1 receiver in my opinion. I think he's going to be a really good wide receiver too, but Mike Evans still there, and Mike Evans is just always going to be catching high volume passes and then falling down in his face right immediately. No yards after the catch. So we'll see if Bruce Arians says is right. He's going to keep Chris Godwin on the field like Larry Fitzgerald was, use him all over and everything. That would be great. I'm a big fan of Chris Godwin. Been watching him since his rookie year, since he was featured on Hard Knocks. You know, that was actually a story of a Hard Knocks player who may have been panning out, you know. All right, moving on, we got Mike Williams, David Njoku, Sterling Shepard, Josh Jacobs. So a lot of upside plays from Zaya here, which is usually what we see out of him. High risk, high reward. And on the other side of the aisle, we got Mark's team. Number 1 projected on the Power Rankings. Fantasy Pros always likes Mark's team, which makes me think, is Mark just really good at fantasy football, or does he just use Fantasy Pros to draft? I'm leaning towards the latter at this point. Almost every year it seems like he walks out with a 100 grade from them, so it seems like he's just got their draft kit up and seeing what it tells him to do, but I digress. Got Baker Mayfield and Dak Prescott, 2 decent quarterbacks there. James Conner, Devontae Freeman. I saw Devontae Freeman went for a steal. He went for criminally low, I think like $30 or something like that, which is ridiculous. James Conner should be a stud. Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen, Julian Edelman, James White, decent flex and wide receiver options. And Vance McDonald for high upside tight end. And LaShawn McCoy on the bench along with Darius Geis, Rashad Penny. So we got some high upside running backs on Mark's bench. And not looking like much on Zaya's bench besides Alexander Madison and Robbie Anderson, who could be another high upside guy. Definitely a Zaya player right there. All right, and our final matchup of the week, we got King of the Hill, Johnny versus Masterful Mikey himself. Johnny actually surprised me in the draft, did decently well. He was, had no auction experience, didn't want to do a mock draft, ended up coming out of it with the two best quarterbacks in the league, and he got them at decent values. I'm not going to lie. Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson should be studs for the year, all year. Running backs, you got Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Kerryon Johnson. All those guys seem like they're going to be high-end running back twos at the least, and with running back one upside there for all three of them. Zach Ertz, you got a top tight end there. Brandon Cooks, Alshon Jeffrey, Larry Fitzgerald. Definitely the weak point of this team is the wide receivers, but Brandon Cooks headlining that group. Alshon Jeffrey and Larry Fitz being your worst two guys, not a bad situation to be in at all. Other side of the aisle, we got Mike, we got Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, stud running backs. Got Russell Wilson as a quarterback with Sam Darnold as the quarterback too. So definitely a big upside play there for Sam Darnold. Maybe going to have a breakout second-year season with Adam Gase. That's what Mike's betting on. Jarvis Landry and Devontae Adams as the wide receivers. Devontae Adams pooping the bed versus the Bears week 1. Just great to see all the way around. Definitely not the guy that I wanted to see go off. Jarvis Landry, we'll see how he does with Cleveland. I think rumors of Odell's arrival have been greatly exaggerated as in terms of Jarvis Landry's production. I think he's going to be still a really good player. Tyrell Williams, the new Oakland wide receiver 1, already in the starting lineup from Mike. So also got Jared Cook there as well. Oh no, he's not on the Raiders anymore. He's up the Saints. My bad. So yeah, guys, it's looking like it's going to be a decent year. I know I kind of just went through everybody's teams kind of quickly, but I want to go through and give like a last minute my predictions on who's going to win every matchup in week 1. So week 1, I've got myself coming on top over George. I don't know what to say. Love my team. Not looking too good for week 1, but I still think I got enough to whoop George's ass. For Evan versus Zach, I think I'm going to lean with Evan on this one just because the tight ends I feel like are going to do a lot more than people think. Robert Woods, always going to be solid. Oh, man. It's just the tight ends on Evan's team I just like, but everybody else is just... They're good, but man, I don't know. There's something about Zach's team. I feel like it's just got some upside, even though there's like no established studs besides Michael Thomas. This one's like one at all. Between Vishal and Kevin, I'm going to say Kevin's taking this one. The stud wide receivers, just beast in Vishal's. Poor managerial skills at setting his lineup. He gets gifted a great lineup and then proceeds not to know how to set it. So I think Kevin's going to take that one. JB versus Joey. I kind of feel like this one's going to be Joey's, unfortunately. Much as I hate to see it, wanted to see JB come in here with his first win, first week in Scumbag League, but I think Joey's got it because that big gooser from Geronimo Allison's gonna come back to bite JB in the ass. I think Mark's gonna take it over Zaya with his #1 Fantasy Pros lineup just because Mitchell Trubisky also shit the bed. And then in the final matchup, I got Johnny taking it over Mike. Kind of playing the chalk here. Devontae Adams under-projecting big time, really hurting Mike's team there. So sorry this one took really long, guys. It was 18 minutes. That's ridiculous. Definitely going to be a lot shorter in the future. Like I said, we're going to come up with some structure and get these things cranked out every week. And hopefully, words. They're hard. All right, guys. Enjoy the fantasy football season this year, and peace.